Wait, what episode is this going to be? This is 14, right? 14, yeah. Okay. It is 14, right?
14, yeah. This is 14.
Because we did 11 and 12 first video, and then that was 13.
Yes.
Okay, cool. 14, cool.
Unless we're just really lost, and then we'll just.
There's a good chance. There's a good chance we're really lost. I'm not even gonna lie about that.
No.
You guys might have to do 2 episodes a week.
We do two.
Is it 2 a week?
Yeah. So we just released episode 8.
I saw that,
and we have 13 recorded as of the last one.
Yeah, well, I'm saying.
So that way, if when I go to Hawaii, I can't record that week. We'll just upload one of those.
Dude, that's in September. Don't act like you're coming tomorrow.
I want to go to Hawaii.
Dude's just like, I'm coming to visit you. I'm like, that's amazing. When? He's like, September. I'm like, September. I'm like, it's fucking March.
So immediately after that, she's like, okay, but when are you coming? Like
for
soon?
that.
Yeah, she's like, okay, so you're coming next year. Get it?
Great.
No.
Coming in September. Amazing. But that's not anytime now.
You still clap?
Yeah.
That was way better than the first one.
I know.
Cool.
Better progress.
Let's make a good clip for the beginning. Just intro shots.
Good morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever applies to you guys. This is 35 Millimeter to Life. I'm DJ with my co-host here, Mike.
Hi.
And our amazing special guest, Kalli.
Ayo.
Round 2.
Round 2.
So excited to be here.
And this is episode 14.
Yes.
I can't believe it's 14 already.
Dude,
it's nuts.
it's insane.
It's nuts. So this is our 4th video episode and our 14th total podcast episode. So this is going to be on YouTube, so you get to see all of our happy faces. And like I told Mike the other day, I have a feeling these 2 videos are going to be the most viewed just because you're here.
Oh, so sweet.
I appreciate that.
Very, very true.
So.
Oh my goodness. Oh.
Until we get more guests on here.
That's true.
I'm just kidding. The drop in your face was like, oh, wrong answer.
I thought I was the only one.
No, so good. I hope that this just kickstarts you guys and you do amazing because you guys are going to kill this and create such an epic community. I'm so stoked for you guys.
I mean, we'd be stoked to have you back too, whenever you want to do a podcast.
Whenever I come to the mainland. Ooh.
Calling it the mainland like you're a local
look at this
from
island
Hawaii.
girl over here now, yeah?
Aloha.
Wait,
Aloha.
throw up the shaka, see how you do it. You local?
That was good, actually.
Not
I was
bad.
very loose. Yeah, I'm proud of you.
Very loose shaka.
Yeah, I was hearing you talk about this on the one of the
man.
Yeah, you're like, don't shake it. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. No, don't.
Choo! Like, choo!
wow.
That was probably really loud.
Okay, brother.
I might have to turn that down.
Oh,
a bit.
brother.
You know how long it took me to do that? Because my white vocal cords are not made to do that, and it took me a long
My
time.
white vocal
Yeah.
cords are just
Yeah, bro.
about to go choo.
But it's that ringing. You're supposed to. Yeah, it's fun.
Mine would not work.
Have you done it yet?
No, I'm not going to try right now either.
I mean, this is a perfect platform.
Perfect platform to try it.
I don't even know what to say. What do I say?
So
Chahu?
so let me ask you a question. So knock knock.
Who's there?
Chi.
Chi.
Nailed it.
That's
I'm
what
glad you
you
didn't
gotta
ruin
say.
that joke. Thanks. That's like day one joke, and I don't know how you ruin the punchline without even knowing the punchline. There we go.
That's not bad. It's not bad.
No, it's not bad. I'm very curious on how loud mine was going to be.
Oh, it was loud.
Yours was loud.
But that's fine. That's the thing called post-production anyways.
That's true. And luckily you are a wizard.
Yeah. You're a wizard at post-production. I am a wizard at post-production. You're a wizard, Harry.
My post-production is a little different.
Yeah.
It's
We
not
all have
nearly
different
as complicated
post-production.
as yours, yeah.
All our editing styles are so different.
They are. And I
cool.
love it.
Let's talk editing styles.
Let's do that.
Let's do it.
So I actually,
This is a photo podcast for a reason.
so I did want to ask you a couple of things too, that we didn't get in the last episode because tons of tangents.
Squirreling. Come
So
on, DJ.
so how long have you been your Kalli's captures? Because I know you've done like the life coaching thing and the yoga, like all this stuff. You do a lot of stuff. How long have you done the photography piece?
So I've started my business officially, I started my passion, I'll rephrase that, in January of 2018. And then I didn't actually start a business officially until the summer of 2019.
Oh, okay.
I feel like the official business for me wasn't like tax-wise. I started a business immediately, but I was more or less felt official. I actually started charging not $200 for a wedding or $5 for a photo session.
Right.
You know, the little things like that. So technically now, what is that, 6 years? 5 years?
Since 19?
18?
18? That'd be
18 since I started
yeah,
photography.
5 years. About, yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
That's awesome. Cool. No, that's cool. I've always, it's always been really interesting to me, the different ways that people get their career started. So I always thought it was really interesting, like how each person gets their start, because everybody's different. And even if you have two people that have very like a similar style, as far as like you and I, how we approach our clients is very similar, everything past that is completely different. different cameras, different lenses, different light sources, different motivation, inspiration. That was the word I was looking for, inspiration, and
Good
different
words.
editing. All that kind of stuff. And I think I love hearing like where people start from. Like I can't wait to ask Bryce where he starts from. Patrick when he comes on. And you what sprung you what hit you and you're like, I'm gonna be a photographer.
I think going back to it, like when someone saw a vision for me that I didn't see for myself, like once I picked up a camera and just could see the fluid action that I had, I think for me, an interaction is super important in connection. And I always knew that I could create that really fast with people. And when I put a camera in between us, it was just, I was able to capture a authentic moment that I just genuinely I was creating this. And once I could feel the connection I had with my client and then just a camera that just was in between us, that never felt like there was a camera in between us. It's always just so open and loving and energetic. And it's always just fun. And once I realized that, and once I saw like my energy light up, once I left a photo session and I was juiced, I was like, okay, I need to keep doing this. I need to like continue this. And then it just, honestly, I got to tell you, it just word of mouth. Like once, I mean, I started my business in Utah and I was flying back almost every other weekend to shoot. Like, and I had not even started a business. And then it was just like here to there. And it was just such a beautiful experience. I'm so grateful for every single one of my clients. Like the magnitude of people that have been around in my business has just been so spectacular.
Right. And we talk a lot about that, how word of mouth is just the main role to get you going and to keep you motivated too.
Yeah.
Because like when one person says something good about you, you're just like, I need to keep doing this. I got to keep going. This is my passion. This is going to be my passion for going forward, right?
It's amazing how like powerful word of mouth is, and also like how fast things can change too, word of mouth, right? Like you can go in such a positive way, but also in such a negative way. So it's like important, especially in small towns, right? Like Reno, Nevada, it's like word goes around pretty quick. So
it really does.
I've always kind of preferred living in like more rural areas if I can. But I think Reno is like the perfect size. You know what I mean? Like it is a city in all rights, Reno and Sparks, but it's not so big. Like I can drive from my house to South Reno. Like if I'm going to Mount Rose, I'm like 15 minutes. If I try to do the same thing, like cross like Manhattan or like Los Angeles, we're talking like an hour, 2 hours of traffic. Perfect size. This is like a country city is what I kind of consider it.
And it's expanding in such a,
oh man.
I think it's like good and bad, right? Like you grew up in the area. I grew up in the area and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's growing so much. I'm like, why can it slow down? But at the same sense, like for photographers, I don't live here anymore, but like it's amazing. Like new people coming in, new clientele, new ways to spread, having the university here. Like it's just, it's epic.
And it's not so saturated like Hawaii was. Like when I was doing stuff in Hawaii, I was constantly competing. We were almost like bidding for clients. So like when I tag you in all those posts on the pages that I'm still a part of on Facebook, that's kind of what I mean by like competing. Like you're showing your stuff and the person has to choose you. They go off a word of like, oh, my friend said that you were good, so I'll message you, whatever. Seeing how many people also tag you in the same thing. Then it comes down to prices and obviously quality of work and things like that. There's just so many photographers in Hawaii. It's insane. It's cool. I mean, it's a good place to shoot. I completely understand why it's like that, but there's just so many.
Yeah, it is interesting. It's interesting to like be there and be in that dynamic of just like new people, new surroundings. I haven't really found like entirely like a community of photographers in Hawaii. It kind of feels like everyone's just kind of like doing it for themselves and like finding their space in that, which is awesome. But I still go back to it. Like I think me and you always have this conversation where you're like saturation, it gets saturated. There's lots of photographers. There's all these things going on, but I'm like, it doesn't matter. Like they book you.
Yeah.
And like, that's such an important part about like you going out there and like marketing who you are. Like for anyone who's starting a business or even in their business, like they book you, and like photography is obviously there, but I think that that's such a statement. Like we were talking about earlier with like the 10% of like me, it is really like, I genuinely am like, sometimes I'm like, it can't be my work. It's got to be me. And it just has to be. And I just think it's such a cool thing. Like the people that I've met there on the island, like they're like, I just can't wait to shoot with you. And that's, I just think that going back to it, like whether you're starting or in your business, like it goes back to you.
That's so special.
Makes
like
you feel good.
That's so special. Just have that moment where I want to shoot with you because I like you as a person. Like even if your work is really good, but I just like to be around you and get to hang out with you and know you as a person.
Yeah.
Just building those relationships are so important.
Right. I mean, like your clients are really, they become family, truly. All my clients are like my fam.
And I think we do build that too. Like, I think we all have the same approach. Like we don't shoot them until we like meet them really for the first time and get to know them. I don't know if you do the same, unless you get like booked for mini shoots and like you shoot right away.
Well, a lot of your mini shoots are recurring
In a way,
clients.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes. But I do have a lot of people. I don't meet with every client before I shoot.
I think it'd be
Rarely.
hard for you because you do like what 10 to 15 shoots a day sometimes.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't have time to meet
19
all
on
of them.
Saturday.
Oh my, I can't even imagine that. Oh,
Everyone's like, what? I'm like, it's amazing. It was great. Like, I went to a magic show after. It was amazing. I'm like,
Oh yeah, I
That's
saw that.
dope.
I saw that post. Yeah.
that's dope.
I love that so much. Yeah, I feel like I do shoot a lot of people that I don't like. I don't meet them before. I don't meet with all my clients before. I only really meet with my wedding clients before I shoot them, just because I want to really get to know them and their love story and feel their
Oh, that
connection.
totally makes sense. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it shows up in your pictures too. Like we were talking about this before. Like if you meet somebody ahead of time, the awkwardness in front of the camera the first time isn't there. But if your client, whoever you're shooting, is uncomfortable or nervous or anxious, it shows up in the pictures, right? It reflects our work in that sense. And so just to, kind of help. That's why I like building that rapport. When I talk to them the first time, I crack jokes and see what makes them laugh, see what doesn't make them laugh. And then when the photo shoot comes, I kind of know what niche to hit to try and make them like smile, like with the percentage trick that I told you about.
So good.
And your fart one. So, just ways to like make somebody like forget, like that picture that I showed you that Bryce took of you, that looks like you were like
So
in
natural.
the moment, but he must have said something funny or you just thought of something funny and you just laughed. And that smile that you
One of
have,
my
it
notes.
looks- it's very, no, that's true.
Very true.
Very few times. Yeah.
Really?
Only met you for the first 2 hours and you've just been constantly glowing. So
Oh, thanks.
Like I feel like
Appreciate
if your
it.
smile muscles were real, you'd be like, your face would be like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Just like,
I'm like, I want Botox while I'm smiling, please.
she's like, I'm disappointed. Does it look like I'm disappointed? I'm going for disappointed. I'm upset. Well, let me turn this frown upside down. So, or smile upside down, I guess.
Smile. I don't know where you're going with that one.
smile downside up,
Downside, right side down.
right side down.
Downside up. Yeah, it's definitely a interesting thing to like create that connection so fast, and it's so fun for for photographers, like just to have that moment to where like you get to break the ice or like get to know someone. I always go back to the quote, like, be the thermostat, not the thermometer. Like, don't read the room, be the room.
Nice.
I like
And
that.
so it's like when you walk into a photo shoot, like I'm always the person that's like, I want to get to know you. So like we're getting to know each other as we're going, and then it's like, boom, high energy. Like,
then
you're
it's
amazing.
done,
It's like,
and then the
go,
shoot's
go,
done, right?
Go, let's go, let's go.
And it's
She's
so
done.
funny, like how extroverted you and I are, and then you're very introverted. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I love talking to very introverted people as an extrovert, because like a lot of the times that I'm talking to them, like they know that they're not going to carry the conversation, essentially, like especially if you're strangers, they're not going to carry the conversation. So when they do interject and they do ask questions, they're usually like really like they're good questions, like they're thought poignant questions, like they're really good. And so I love that stuff.
Yeah.
And we were talking about, so landscape photographers, I feel like a lot of landscape photographers are introverts,
Introverted, yeah.
and portrait photographers are extroverted.
Not always.
Not always. There are exceptions,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
But I feel
I'm
like
the exception.
It's me.
But I mean, like even like I know you and I, we like to get away for like a day or two, get away from like cell phone service and just kind of unplug. And it's very, very necessary because we have social batteries that get drained really fast.
Mine doesn't.
Nope.
No, I was
Just look at me.
It's so funny. I was just having this conversation with a friend, and she was like, when do you get drained? I'm like, I don't really get drained. Like,
It takes a lot. When I was tour guiding, it would happen.
so I feel like there's certain scenarios that you put yourself in life that like allows you to be in that like space where you truly get drained of your utmost like energy. But it's like my life, I truly only do things that like light me the fuck on fire. Like that's just my whole life.
That's good. I mean, I spent the last year narrowing down my field of friends, essentially, like closing my circle a bit.
Glad I made it.
Oh, like there was a worry about that. Oh, of course.
Ayo.
New friends. That was horrible.
Friends.
That's what I'm talking about. Another one.
I feel like I should compete.
We're too far away.
Competitive, yeah.
What if
Cheers.
What if he's like listening? He's like, "Is this the clap? Is this the clap to like sync?" And it's like 15
I'm like, I
minutes
don't know,
down.
really don't. I don't know.
But yeah, tightening in that circle, it made me feel better. I only have people around me that are just good. Maybe not like I want people that are honest with me. If I'm doing something wrong, tell me, call me out. That's fine.
Right.
But people that are genuinely there to help me, want me to succeed. Those are the people that I'm surrounding myself with. And it sucks cutting some people out, but it's necessary,
Yeah, I think that's, totally. I mean, cutting anyone out of your life is definitely a difficult thing to do.
That sucks.
Exactly.
I'm always the person that's like a magnet to people. So it's like hard to like pull them away.
When you're attracted to everybody and everybody wants to be around you, you're just
Yeah.
like,
I think it's the other way around. Everybody's
help.
because as soon as the very first time you came into the store when I was working there, I was like, I'm gonna be your friend. Like I don't know why. I have no idea why. I try to be nice to everybody that comes in when I was there, obviously, and I do that all the time. But when you walked in, I was like, "We're gonna be friends." It's happening.
It was instant.
It was pretty instant. Yeah, it was great. Yeah, your mom moved, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's doing good down there in Florida.
Yep, Florida. I have no family in Reno anymore. That's crazy. Really crazy.
Wait, were you born and raised here?
I was born in Sacramento, and then I was raised here basically from like right after I was born.
It's a good upgrade. I hate Sacramento.
Yeah, just get out of California.
Yeah, true that. True that.
Yeah.
It's so funny. We're so close to California right now, though. Like,
we're so close.
Like I could drive 5 minutes that way and I'm there.
Right?
Yeah.
Right, but it's like.
Why?
Yeah. It's not. Oh yeah.
No, but we're not. Yeah. So I grew up here, and so my whole family left. Like my sister moved to Texas. My dad's out. My mom's out. It's like everyone's gone. So when I come back here, it's like very, very different now. And then I moved shortly after that. Like right after my mom moved, I was like, well, I guess it's time to take on Stacy and I. Like let's have a date. Let's go.
Right. So you went to school here too, right?
Yeah.
School, everything.
Yep. I went to Spanish Springs.
Oh, nice. All different schools over here.
Where'd you go?
McQueen.
Oh. We all have names for these schools, but they're not appropriate.
No.
I went to fancy schools. I went to big high schools.
Spanish Springs, baby.
McQueen Lancers.
Graduating class of 62 people right here.
I thought you were gonna give your age.
Me too.
Graduating class of.
I feel 62. Graduating class of 06. 62 people in my class. Itty bitty. I think we only had I think we had just barely over 200 in the entire school when I graduated.
Wow.
My graduating class was bigger than your whole school.
That's exactly.
That was like my social studies class.
Yeah, that's very true.
It's you know how funny it is that you bring up that there's that many people in your social studies class. Like out of all the classes, you could be like, it's my science class, and you're like, no, social studies. Like I love to people watch that. Obviously, that'd be. I know there was a weird tangent. My brain was working like 1,000 miles a minute, and I had like all these things.
Your brain always works 1,000 miles a minute.
No, yeah, but I'm playing it fast and loose with the word "works" there. So
yeah,
it kind of exists sometimes. Do you like people, people watching?
I love people watching.
So
I love
it's intriguing.
People watching and creating a story.
Yes.
Like
yes,
you're watching them and you're like,
you fabricate this thing.
Are they like on a date right now?
Right.
Or are they just walking in the park?
Right.
Or like you see like a whole family and you're like, did they just move here? Oh, is the little one angry? Oh, how's the mom feeling?
Yeah.
Oh, are they in a fight? Oh,
That's
it's
funny.
like so fun.
So,
I was doing it with a client the other day, actually. We had like a whole thing.
That's dope.
It was so fun. You and I are waiting for like all these different people taking pictures. And I was like, what are they doing over there? And she's like digging into it too. It was so fun. So fun.
So I want to run a social experiment real quick. So I have my favorite location to do people watching at in my head. Okay. You got yours? Do
I have mine? Oh, God.
There's a lot of good locations here.
There is, but I have one that is
in Reno specifically.
No.
Oh, just anywhere.
Just yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Anywhere?
I know mine. Yeah,
Anywhere.
I know mine.
I was
I'm ready.
Local.
Got it.
I have a local spot.
So on 3, we'll say what ours is. Okay.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Sparks
Airport.
Marina. Oh.
Yes. Yes, I knew it.
We're not best friends.
What was
I
yours?
said the marina because I don't go to the airport enough. I said the marina.
I love people watching at the airport because it's like you see people that dress to impress at the airport. You see people that dress because they don't give a fuck, and they're just like, I'm comfy.
They're extroverts. I'm an introvert. I'm the outcast.
No way.
He's like the marina. I'm at the bench in
yes.
the corner. I'm like watching everyone walk by with their dogs and their rollerblades and their skateboards.
Yeah.
And you can see who's
Pretty much what
extroverted and
happens.
introverted at the airport, depending on how they dress, usually too.
I don't go to the
Or like if they're
airport
wearing
enough.
headphones, if they're sitting in the corner, if they're sitting next to other people. I love it, and another one too is rush hour traffic.
I should have said
Right,
the gym.
because you think you're
I
safe
think
in
people
your
watch
car.
me more than rush hour traffic than I watch them.
That's
Because
what
if
he just
I'm
got tint
parked,
on his
I'm like
car.
over there dancing. Like I'm
Oh, for
dancing
sure.
in the car.
I'm like two knuckles in my
Everyone
nose.
enjoy the
like,
show. I'm like just hang out and hang out
I'm
and
just
watch.
fully digging for gold. Like, but people, you think you're safe in your car, and then
You're not.
and then you look over and like, I
I
literally
had this happen the other day.
Yeah.
Truly.
What happened?
In Reno.
Wait,
on
somebody
Pyramid
caught
Highway.
you, or you caught somebody?
Someone was watching me for a long period of time.
When did you make the eye
At
contact?
McCarran and Pyramid, hanging out there. Music comes on. I'm jamming, having my thing. You know, I'm always like, this is my zone. Like, no one, I don't really ever look left or right, but I'm hanging out. I know this guy's window's down, but I'm like having my own like dance party, doing my thing, and I like turn to the right. Man has his arm out the window, looking at me, watching me, like
He's got like popcorn.
watching at the whole time at the stoplight. Had to have enjoyed the show. I was like, you know what? That's when I showed up on my Instagram. I'm like, dance in your car. Do it. Do the dang thing. Because you know what?
So funny.
Who cares if anyone's watching? I'm like,
No, it's true.
sayonara to that guy. I hope he enjoyed the show. He has a great rest of his day. I'm like, that was a good. I was dancing good.
I put on a show. You gotta tip me.
Exactly. Where's the ones at?
Where's the ones? He just at the window, popping the mills.
He's shaking it to Stacy. Yeah, girl. Get it, girl.
Shake it to Stacy.
Shake Stacy.
I was doing a tour in Hawaii, and I drove up on this car next to me, and we were coming back from the tour. Had a great tour, and I looked to my left, and because I see it was like an older like Camry, and I'm in the second lane next to the fast lane, and I look over because like the car's just sitting there, and there's something about the car, the way the person was sitting, that made me want to look or whatever, and I looked over at them, and because at first all I saw was foot on the dash. Painting nails, like painting the toenails.
Is this person driving?
Yes. Well, so it's rush hour, so they're stuck there we're stuck, for a few seconds to move a few seconds. So, but I see them with their foot on the dashboard, which is a huge pet peeve of mine in the first place.
Me too. Can't stand it.
So they're painting their toenails, and then I look and I creep up a little more, and this dude looks over at me, and he's like, "Sup, bruh?" Like, so it's a dude painting his toenails.
At least he wasn't cutting his toenails.
That's true.
Like,
I feel like that would have made me nauseous.
Yeah, the nail. Oh yeah.
But he's in his own bubble. Do you, boo boo? But
Pet peeves.
Just
someone clipping their toenails. Oh God. I
In
would rather
public.
listen to nothing. Nothing.
That happened at
clicking noise?
work.
At work?
Oh, we found like fingernails and toenails, just like
Oh,
not
God.
toenails,
Oh, God.
but in the workplace, just like on a table. You're just like, oh, why are you cutting your nails at work? Stop it. We had to announce
Does
it to
anybody
the
from your
whole
work
huddle.
listen to our podcast?
No,
Okay, good.
not yet.
If so, do not cut your fingers or
what is wrong with you?
toenails
I
at
already
work.
mentioned this.
Like
at work.
I hate
Gosh.
feet. If anybody knows me for even a few days, this is like my least favorite thing in the world. I hate my feet. I hate your feet. I hate your feet. I hate everybody's feet. Hate them. Hate it. So like if I were to go to somebody's house and
Tell us
there's
how
like
you really
toenail,
feel.
bro, I can't, because even though this podcast is rated for adults, I'm sure.
I'm surprised you lived in Hawaii for that long, because they all wear slippers.
Oh, dude, I never looked down, bro.
Barefoot,
I never looked down, bro.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Nope.
Whatever.
Feet are weird.
I never looked down. Right. Mm-hmm.
My eyes
Like
were there.
this.
Yeah. Cut it. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Jesus.
For sure.
Talking about
So-
keeping your eyes up, go to the gym. You always got to keep your eyes up, especially
That's
as
true.
bros.
Oh man.
I'm looking to the ceiling.
You know what? Like, not that he's ever gonna hear this, but shout out to Joey Swole for all of his stuff that he puts out
Joey Swole's dope.
about like body shaming, fat shaming in the gym. Like he calls people out.
Oh, I love him.
He's
I
so
see his
awesome.
stuff on Facebook. Pretty sure I've seen him.
He's
the one who like will
ripped.
play a video and then he like talks about it. Yeah, yeah, I love him.
He just
He's a
blasts
gem.
everybody.
Yeah.
Who I can't remember his name. There was this big dude. They used to sit in his car and like yell at the camera, but it was sometimes it was like positive, like, you are worth it. You're amazing. Love yourself. Get to the gym. Improve yourself. Blah. And it was all positive stuff, right? And then he would like go on like blast, kind of like Joey Swole did, but he would be yelling the whole time. I'm talking like veins coming out everywhere, legitimately yelling at the camera. And his videos are just really, really interesting to watch. Yeah, it's
I
crazy.
have no idea who that'd be.
I'll see if I can find someone to send it to. I can't remember his name. He wears a bandana, big dude, white guy, bandana, beard, huge muscles, tattoos. Can't remember his name.
Interesting.
But his videos are really cool too. So I did post that we were recording 2 videos, and I asked for some questions on Facebook.
Ooh.
And one of the people that work at the dealership that I work at sent, I just want to know others' take on taking perfectly good roses from the trash. And what? So I wanted to let you know about this, but I knew you were busy. So on Saturday I was at the GSR, and it was a Divas Day Out, and it's businesses that are owned and ran by women. So it was almost all women in there. I was literally one of 7 men that I could see that were in there, not including the security guards. And
Great stat.
yeah, we get counted.
Yeah.
That was a big number for me. So at the end, we were walking around, and she had a bad day, and she saw these really, really nice roses, and she's like, "Oh my God, roses!" And a lot of the vendors are throwing away their stuff. So this floral company was throwing away their stuff that they weren't going to use. And she's like, "Oh, these roses are," but they were on top of the trash can. The trash can was full, roses on top, right? And I was like, "Don't, those are in the trash. Like, they're not good flowers anymore." And the people were still there. And I was like, "Hey, do you guys have any roses that aren't in the trash can for my friend?" And they're like, "No, those are all of them for the day. But we have these daffodils that we're going to get rid of too." And I was like, "Perfect." And they came in like a little glass mason jar too. So I took that and I handed it to her. I was like, here are some fresh roses to brighten your day, or some fresh flowers to brighten your day. You don't need the trash roses anymore. And she's like, "No." And she took like 3 of them anyway. And then she kept saying like, "I want to go back for more and more and more." So that was the comment that she left on there. So if there's anybody else out there that would want a dozen roses from a trash can, please let her know so that she doesn't feel so alone about it.
Here for this.
I
I love this for her.
I told her, I was like, hey, look, I'm an enabler friend. So if you want to do something that's going to make you feel better and it's not illegal or moral and you can afford it, who cares? Do it. You know what I mean? I'm that person. I will be a hype man for that kind of stuff. And I told her that, and she's like, well, I'm going to steal these roses. And I was like, that might be the line then. Like, you deserve better than trash roses.
You hit the line.
You hit the line.
Draw the line in the sand, bro.
In trash roses.
They were fresh though. I mean, they were right on top too. Like
Fresh trash?
yeah, fresh. Oh, the trash was fresh. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right.
But the roses were clean.
Photography.
You're
We're talking about pet peeves.
Oh, pet peeves.
Yeah.
We have pet peeves when it comes to photography. I was going to bring this up on the last one, but we just go on tangents all the time. There was a wedding video I sent to DJ, and this guy stopped the ceremony because they weren't in position to take the first kiss photo.
Oh, that was the video you sent me.
That was the video I sent you. Insane.
Wait. How was it captured? Like, I'm really confused. Like, did you see? Was there like a reel made?
I can show you this.
What was
right
going down? Like,
let me pull this up, and then we can.
I think that's actually like an interesting pet peeve of mine is when people feel when you're capturing something that should be authentic and you make it unauthentic. Okay, imagine having this. Imagine having to stop your kiss.
You're gonna put the video on the.
Yeah, I'll put it in the video. It's our first reaction.
There you can't because you can't get a second first kiss.
No, you cannot.
It's just that one.
No.
Yeah, so that's like one of the. As a photographer, you got to be prepared, especially for weddings. Mm-hmm. Be prepared for those things to happen.
Well, also, I just feel like in general, like when this is happening, you're also really like, if it happens that way, it happens that way.
Right?
Like you're there to capture the day. Like I have friends that are like, oh my gosh, wedding photography, that must be a lot of pressure. Yeah. And I would say like, yeah, I'm there. They hired me. Like I'm going to capture the day as best as I can, but like there's no expectation. Mm-hmm. Like when it comes down to it, you hired me and I'm going to show up in the best way that I can, but like there's not an expectation. You just have to like, I do that a lot in coaching. I'm like, release the expectation, drop the expectation. Like you are the photographer. They're booking you.
They chose you.
Be you.
They chose you. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But that would be absolutely lunatic.
For you to stop a wedding in the middle of the ceremony just because you missed a moment, that's your fault for missing that. I mean, you could have captured that anywhere else. You didn't have to be center aisle, stop the ceremony for all of that. Oh my
gosh, yelling, but also like
yelling.
Whoever was like
obnoxious.
Videography, like clearly had a great shot. So like, what was going on in that?
Right. Weird. I don't know.
Yeah, pet peeves. Okay.
So I found that some of my pet peeves are different depending on which shoot I'm doing too.
Okay.
Right.
Tell me more.
So weddings the same. Like we were talking about that before. Put your cell phones away. Mm-hmm. I'm there to take pictures, not being like pretentious about it, but they're paying good money for me they're paying a lot of money for me to be there and take pictures. It's their money. They hired me. You'll get these pictures. Everybody will get these pictures. Put your phone away.
Are you talking about just in ceremony or like, what are you talking about?
So yeah, just in ceremony.
Ceremonies. Yeah.
Like the getting ready, like that's not a big deal because I can let them get the picture and then take mine. That's absolutely fine. But during the ceremony, like I'm going to be in your way because I'm there to take pictures for the bride and the groom. That's for everybody else. So your phone isn't going to take the same exact angle that my camera is going to. I'm there to do that. So, but I don't want a bunch of like arms with phones like out in the middle of my picture that I have to Photoshop out.
Right.
It's just annoying. Don't have to worry about that with like a family shoot, obviously, right? But a pet peeve of mine, and it's not something that I can control on a family shoot, is like if somebody's kid is getting like rambunctious or irritated, tired, whatever. A lot of the times the parents get embarrassed and they try to like rush the shoot. I have all the time in the world. Like if your kid is being difficult for whatever reason, that's fine. Like we'll hang out until the tantrum is over and then we'll get the pictures. Like I'm not in a rush. You pay me to be here. It's cool. Don't worry about it. But because I can see that it creates uneasiness.
Yeah,
we'll go with that one.
DJ's dictionary.
Yeah.
It's a very short book. I can see that it causes that discord and it messes with the pictures a bit. So like it's not a big deal. Like shit happens. Like it's fine,
Yeah.
So I know it's kind of not really like a pet peeve that anybody can really control, but like just, I'll be patient. You be patient. I mean, it's cool.
Yeah. I feel like that's also like a standard though. You know what I mean? Like you set that standard, you set that precedent, like going into it. And like, that's always something I make sure like telling your families. And that's like super important to like be very communicative about experiences. Like that's why I actually changed my photography from being like a photo session to a photo experience. Cause it's more than a session. Nice. It's like, it's like great, awesome. But like,
it's good for
there
SEO
for an experience. Too. Yeah, and you just create that, and so it's like having those conversations before. If your kid goes crazy, like amazing, let them Like I always say, like kids are going to be kids. Amazing. Like let them be kids.
We call them blackmail shots. I call them blackmail shots.
It's funny because you know how many like do you look back on pictures if you have like anyone listening has like childhood pictures and you're like losing your bananas and you're like, oh my gosh, what in the world was I doing in that day? Us as photographers, we get to capture that in the most like authentic way. And it's like, let that. Parents are like, they don't always have to be smiling. No, actually, I'm going to tell you guys a fun story. So I actually had my first ever, this is very interesting, first ever negative review. Actually a negative comeback about a photo session with me. First ever. I've had one in 5 years, which shout out to that. I love my people. Thank you. But one. And it was I know this person will never listen to this podcast, so it's amazing. This grandmother brought her grandson to the session, and it was just going to be of the grandson. It was 20 degrees out. It was bitter cold. And me and the kid just went and played in the park together. And he obviously at 20 degrees, you're about 3 years old. You want to keep your gloves on. You want to stay warm. You want to keep your jacket on. So I let him be a kid. We walked around the park. We had a blast. It was so fun. I played his favorite song. I mean, we had so much fun. But he wasn't smiling because he was freezing. But he was like running and doing his thing and whatever. And she came back with how disappointed she was that there was no pictures of him smiling. There was no pictures of him with no gloves on. He had his jacket on the entire time. His cheeks were red. I mean, she came back with just about every single thing that was like, that's what I'm there to capture. Like, that's what he was having so much fun despite it being 20 degrees. Like, go tell him the story when he's 20, being like, oh my God, I took you to this park and you walked around with this photographer and you may have been cold, but you had a blast. So I'm kind, and I did a redo session for her. Oh. I did. And wow. I did it for free. I decided to.
Did she take the review down?
No.
Yeah, that would have been a stipulation. If you want me to reshoot, take it down.
So I kindly did another session. I got no response when I sent you the photos. Yeah. No response.
Because it's obviously your fault that you did the photo shoot when it's cold outside. You obviously control the weather.
But the next one, we had so much fun, and I got this kid smiling. Maybe you'd think like, come back with like, thank you so much for doing this. Like, I really appreciate you coming out of your way. Right. You don't even live here anymore. Nothing.
That sucks.
You know, I can't stand the people that use the negative review as like a threat to people.
And we're like, you know,
like it does suck. But like, if I make an honest mistake during a photo shoot, I would like you to reach out to me and talk to me one-on-one. Let me rectify whatever the situation is. Don't just put me on blast like that, because any number of things could have happened. I've shown up to shoot weddings and I forgot to take the lens cap off. That's not really a big deal. I showed up to do a family shoot and I forgot my memory cards at the house on the table. And I had to drive to Best Buy, and it took me 15 minutes. And the family but the family still tipped me at the end of the photo session. They love the pictures. They're printed all over the house. We're still friends to this day. This stuff happens. You know what I mean? Like, but don't use like a bad review. Like, I'm going to leave a bad review. Okay, let's try and figure out something that's going to be, and not because you're threatening, you know what I mean? Let's be humans.
Totally.
Like, talk to me about it.
Totally.
And like use the bad review to get some free stuff because you are disappointed later. Right.
I mean, good on you for you know, doing that for them. That was nice of them. But she should have at least two things.
Gave
one,
you
she
something.
should have responded, letting you know that she got them and she liked them, and two, take the review down.
Oh, magical.
But you went above and beyond to help fix the situation.
And that's it. Like, you know what? I go back to like, I did my part. Like, I did what I could. And you know what? Like, I know that like that happened and I got to learn from it. Like, truly.
2 sessions for the price of one.
Yeah. It's already discounted in the beginning.
Oh.
Yeah,
you might be too nice, Kalli. I might be way too nice.
I'm such a kind human. It's hard.
It is really hard though, honestly, if you're just so nice and you're like, I need to get it right. Especially for yourself too. I mean, you probably got it right the first time. And she was just mad that it wasn't what she wanted.
Well, that's like also the thing with photography. It's like we are our own, we create what we create. Right. And like it's our creation. Mm-hmm. So like for you to come at me thinking like, that's not what I wanted. Well,
then why did you hire me?
Why Why don't hire me then?
You looked at my work. You looked at other people's work.
You know exactly what you were going to.
Right.
You know what you want. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you, like you said it before, you hire us for us. So if you don't like our work, why hire us?
Right. So let's talk about this. So it's so fun. I feel like, let's talk about this. Do you guys feel like an Instagram is more important, or do you feel like a website's more important?
Oh, man.
I'm going to say Instagram.
Okay.
I also think Instagram.
And my reasoning for that is that one, my website got hacked last month. It was taken over by some hacker. They put a huge black banner on my webpage. And under contact, it said like, we are coming, all this other random stuff. And it even told me who hacked, and he has an Instagram page, or she has an Instagram page and another website and all this kind of stuff. They do it just for clout. I got an email very quickly after that saying that like, oh, we're going to turn over all the credit cards you have on your system to, whatever for doing it. And I was like, well, joke's on you, because I have a secure server those go onto, and they're not part of the website. So, and I told him, I sent him an email back. I was like, you don't scare me. It's, it is what it is. But Instagram, like, everybody wants portfolios now, but portfolios are online. Like, not many people carry physical portfolios, and our generation doesn't want to see. They don't want a big portfolio on their desk. Just hand them your phone with your stuff. So websites are expensive. They take a lot of work, and they're awesome to have, for sure. It's nice to say that I have a website. It's establishing, but I feel like social media just takes so much precedence now, I guess. So I'd say Instagram.
It's faster.
It's ease of access too. I think everybody just uses it, and it's like you don't have to give them like just a business card with your Instagram, and then they can just look it up, and it's like real quick. Going to a whole website, you're just like,
Yeah. I also think Instagram too, like you can keep up with that person instead of like going back and checking their website.
Right. Especially if they post stories. Like, this is what I'm doing today, check this out or whatever. Like, I think, you feel closer to the person.
Who does
that? Actually post the story.
I don't know what that's like.
I've seen you post 15 stories in a day before.
I think I'm a spam story person. So I'll post like 15 and I'll go off the grid for like 2 months. And then I'll do it again.
There's the introvert in him.
That's the introvert in me.
There's been
get it all
like
out in one session, and then I'm inside.
I'm out.
There's times that I'll forget to for like 2 weeks, and then I'm like, I gotta post a story so people can see me, and I'm like, this is what I had for lunch. I'm like, nobody cares. But that was like the only thing that I could do at the time, like just to be on there.
But I also think it's like such an intuitive thing. Like, I just feel like I'm in tune with that. Like, you just gotta be intuitive about it. Like, show up when you show up, and like don't show up when you don't feel like showing up.
For sure.
Like, rather than like holding the standard over it. I think that's like me being in like a lot of that more like that space of showing up for my people on there. Like, I'm constantly the person that's like talking on my Instagram stories. I love it. I love doing it. I think it's fun. I engage with it. I don't really care what I post, and also don't care to use like a filter. I'm like, you're gonna get me. You're gonna know me. You're gonna meet me at some point. Yeah. I'm not gonna look like this filter.
Right.
And it's like so fun. Like, I'll go off for like 3 days, and then I like come back on, and it's like, oh my gosh, just like you show up way better when you're like in tune with like your intuition about it. It's very, very fascinating.
Because you have a website.
I do not have a website anymore.
You got rid of it.
I
was contemplating
full Instagram now.
Mine. I did close it down. I really, honestly, to be honest, don't feel like I have a portfolio. You like scroll my Instagram, and you could probably go back about like one slide, and you're like in like 2020. Like, you know me, I did 19 sessions on Saturday. I have like a total of like 200 posts on Instagram.
Wow. And
I'm doing this for 5 years. So it's like
the math doesn't.
But now you can focus on your Instagram and your Vero and things like that. So
Vero, is that still a thing?
Vero, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
We're all on it.
Called him out on it too, because he's like, I have an account, but I haven't been on there. Get on it.
Yeah, I haven't been on there in so long.
Aaron and I are on there. George made an account too.
Oh, love that. Love that so much. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't feel like I have much of a portfolio, but I just going back to it, like I genuinely feel like people book me for me. Like it doesn't. You've
taken such like iconically good pictures though. Like, because you'll send me like your favorite shots from your sessions. And I mean, they're like, I don't analyze anybody else's work because that's their work. Like, you're an established professional. I have no business saying you should do this or that or there. But even if I wanted to, I don't think I could find anything.
No.
So like I think you'd have a super strong portfolio if you decided to make one. But your Instagram could be it.
Yeah, I just need to hire it out. I really think I need to hire out because I think let's go down that rabbit hole. As an artist, choosing which photos are the best photos is hard because you love them all. So like going down and like picking a few for me is so difficult.
It is. And I found out too, like for like my prints that I sell, my landscapes, there's a couple of shots that are my quote unquote best sellers that I did not feel the most confident about. Like they weren't the best pictures that I thought I could have taken, but something about the image spoke to a mass of my clients that I had and they wanted to buy it. So you got to find that line for me. You got to find that line between what you like with your work and what you know that somebody else is going to, it's not selling out. You know what I mean? Like if you, it's not pandering, but if like, it's hard for me to sell Hawaii pictures here and it's hard for me to sell Nevada pictures in Hawaii because that's not what people expect to see. So when I'm in Hawaii, I have to shoot Hawaii to
sell in Hawaii.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, my engagement in Instagram fell by like 70% when I moved to Nevada, just because the algorithm read differently. The hashtags didn't work the same. Posting time was completely different. A lot of things came into effect.
Right.
So it's difficult too.
Yeah. Well, it's also a game. Like you're you're playing.
It's constantly changing too.
Constantly.
Yes.
When reels are just taking over Instagram right now, and like photos just have no life in Instagram, it's kind of hard to make it as a photographer.
I love that people post a picture as a reel too. Like it's like
just to mess with the algorithm,
Instagram.
right?
Yeah, exactly. They're like, oh, you want a reel? Here's a reel picture. It's hilarious. Whoever came up with that, good on you.
Yeah, totally. They went viral.
Credit, yeah.
I love that for them. Yeah, so good.
I think at the end of the day, it just comes down to spending the time researching on what your style is, what you like to do, right? Because you don't want to be burnt out on it. And then find out there's nothing wrong with having a website. There's nothing wrong with not having a website. There's nothing wrong with only doing Instagram. There's nothing wrong with not having any social media at all and just you letting word of mouth carry you. If that's what works for you, then that's what works for you.
Totally.
There are millions of photographers in the world, both amateur and professional, and you have to find a way to not stand above them, but stand out. Right? I never consider myself to be above any other photographer in skill or anything like that. I just want to stand out is all. I don't want to be above you. I just want to be, different.
Right.
And yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's very hard.
Oh, it's so good though. So good. I think it's like there's no one way for everyone, but I do feel like Instagram has such a high space for. I mean, like you can meet someone, you're like, "What's your Instagram?"
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, so fast and so quick.
So fast. Yeah.
It's like access at your fingertips.
And then when somebody says they don't have an Instagram, and you're just like, "What?
Yeah.
How?"
You what?
And people are buying the blue check now.
I know. Can you believe that?
Buying it. I didn't look up the price. Like because I don't really care. I got verified on Vero.
Heyo.
I did see that when I was on there. That was a long time ago. That was quick.
It was
That's
so
awesome.
Aaron and I we did it together. He got responded to before I did because he gained like 1.6 thousand followers in like 3 days.
Dang.
He got verified, or he got the email back that they were working on his verification 2 weeks before I did. I got my blue check mark 2 days before he did.
Oh my gosh.
So it doesn't. I think it was just I don't know. I don't even know why. Like I can't. Our last names are almost the same. Like spelling, it can be an alphabet thing. I have no idea. Not a clue.
Interesting.
Algorithms are weird.
Yeah.
This is science.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole science to it.
It
It's
is.
the science.
It is. So true. So true.
So if you had any advice for anybody getting into photography, what would it be?
So such a good question. I just actually was thinking about this the other day. Hire a mentor.
Okay. I like that.
That would be like something I would recommend to someone starting is get advice from someone that's walked the walk. And so that you can, have understanding or get insight, like someone that maybe is starting a photography business is like, I should create a website and spend $200 here and $300 here and state, no, let's just focus on your Instagram or let's focus on like where you feel your niche market should be or will be.
I like that.
And so I really think hiring a mentor, because when I hired a mentor, like my business changed drastically. I just got really a lot of like insight of like how she progressed and how she grew her business and what allowed her to excel in different ways and financially and tax wise and like so many different angles of photography you don't really like think about.
That's brilliant.
That would be definitely my first thing is like hire a mentor.
That's smart.
That's done it.
Because I don't think the adage works for photographers. The whole like if they can't make it, teach, that kind of thing. Like if you can't be professional at your field, you teach instead. I feel like that doesn't work.
It doesn't work until you've done it.
Yeah, like how are you supposed to know all the ins and outs if you haven't failed many times? I fail all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So good.
The learning curve in photography is very steep, and I don't mind that I fall down the hill sometimes.
Yeah.
Because it's a learning curve. So somebody asks me a question and I give them my opinion. It's not just like, oh, it should be like this. It's because I've made that mistake, dude. Don't write this. And I make tons of mistakes.
Well, I mean, you all should. That's how you learn the best.
That's
like you
definitely how
learn
you learn.
through it.
Yeah.
Right.
I definitely think that's why it took me so long to even do like coaching or mentor sessions, because I was like, I want to just keep learning. Like I want to keep learning. I want to keep failing, and then keep growing. And then I'm like, now I feel like I can mentor. I finally, like literally 2 weeks ago, released my first mentor session. It's like,
I feel like those are great ideologies for photography. Staying consistent, right? And just being true to yourself. Should be easy. Just don't give up. Photography is very easy to give up on.
Right.
Once you get past just taking pictures on vacation. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Learning curve.
It is. But you grow with it, and it's fun.
Right.
It's exciting.
So you're going to switch to Sony?
You're so
Here we go
funny.
again.
You're
Yes.
so funny.
Sony.
My boy wore the Sony shirt today.
Heyo.
Oh, I feel like I need to like trial with Sony for a session.
You just gotta try it.
Well, I know a guy or two.
Or
I
three.
really think I
Has
should.
some. We were, I don't know if this is still in the game plan or not, but we were talking about doing the drone stuff up in Tahoe
Taking the droney.
and shooting some.
Dope.
some Milky Way shots.
I brought
I think we were talking about that too, right?
brought my drone back, but I forgot the propellers.
I told her she can fly mine.
I'm like, oh,
Nice.
I'm like, maybe I should just sell my DJI.
That was a ton.
Wow, what just happened?
Two-thirds of the name of the company is my name.
DJI. All you have to do is add an I to DJ.
Exactly. I'm 66% of the name. Like, I don't know.
I was gonna say 66 years old.
Again, here we go.
We get it. I'm old.
A little
It's
bit.
the gray for me.
If I yell too loud, I throw my back out.
Yes, but I feel like the Mini 3, is that the one? Oh,
that's what I have.
yeah, I definitely think that's an investment just because of the portrait. Just because it goes into portrait.
And you literally, so as you're flying, you just touch the button, it goes boop, and it just immediately flips.
Yeah, that's wicked. That's wicked. But I feel like make videos horizontal again, like it's a movement.
But it's so good for reels,
Very.
for stories on Instagram, because that's the layout, and TikTok, because that's the layout for the
vertical.
TikToxic.
TikToxic.
God.
Yeah.
The rabbit hole on TikTok is dangerous, and I've fallen into it many times.
Never downloaded the app.
Same.
Okay.
Heyo, we're high fiving.
Oh, that's not high five.
Yeah,
That's not high five.
Yeah, that
There's
is.
okay, but there's
Get
so
off
many.
Mike, you're my new
There are
homes.
so many good
My
ideas.
homies.
There's so many creative people on TikTok, and there's so many like great ideas that you can get from that. There's also a lot of crap. You have to filter through a lot of crap on your For You page to
Yeah, I
find.
don't
It's like
understand.
90% crap and
Yeah.
10%
Probably
like
true.
Right.
Probably
not
true.
even valuable
And I
information.
don't have time to like go through that.
The TikTok account, DJ Hansen Photography, is pretty interesting. You should check it out.
That's cool.
Shameless plug.
Yeah.
Shameless plug.
No.
Put that
Everyone's
into the
always told me that.
description and just be like, oh, no,
I've gotten told
never
that so many times. Like, you really should have a TikTok. You really should have a TikTok because you love to talk. I'm like, yeah, no.
But imagine if you did like little travel videos of your photo shoots and stuff with your voiceover on like a mic like this with your podcast setup, a professional voiceover with these videos explaining what you're doing. They'll catch like wildfire.
But like, do you get paid on TikTok?
I mean, you can, but
Like, what's the point? Like, what am I doing it for? Like, what is the end goal?
The ROI on something like that is more clients. Because if you like, let's say you blow up on TikTok and you get like 100,000 followers on TikTok, that's 100,000 potential clients. If you travel, they could buy your prints. If you do landscapes, they could book you.
Okay, good points. I validate that.
But honestly, that ROI is the only thing. Like for me, I post on TikTok just because my daughter, she likes seeing it.
I think if I had a TikTok, I would go on there, post, and leave. Like, I would never interact.
Right.
Like, I would just never scroll.
Well, like Instagram got rid of the like count.
Like,
You can hide your like count.
Oh, I do every post.
I do
So,
it too.
and I do too. And it's, and for many different reasons. I do it because
Yeah, why do we all do it?
I honestly get in my head about, like, if I post like one of my favorite pictures and only has like 50 likes, I get in my head, I'm like, what's wrong with the post? Did I post it the wrong time? Is
It
the
does
picture wrong?
happen.
It bothers me. So I just turn it off and then I just don't check.
Right.
Do you check?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
still
sometimes
check,
I'm
though.
like, this one's got 4,000 likes.
Yeah, you're like,
I haven't
you
checked in a
still
while. I think it's just because the algorithm is so wonky right now for
So
Instagram.
wonky. It really
So like
is.
I'll post and I'm like, dude, I love this photo. And then it has like 7 likes. I'm just like, okay, I'm turning it off.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
who's seen it? Who's actually seen this post?
Like
I
our
feel like
very-
I got shadow banned.
Our very first episode that we recorded with Aaron and I has the most downloads out of all of ours, which I feel bad because that's the one where the audio is so bad. But that one podcast. So then I look at it, and here's how my mind works. I look at that number, and I'm like, okay, are we
That's
not
the
getting
standard,
downloads on the
right?
rest of these because they're not as good? And I'm like, oh, but the audio is bad. Or are they not? Or did they hate the first episode's audio so much that they're not going to bother listening to the rest? That's how my mind works. Is I try to pick apart like, why is this happening? You know what I mean? But we have listeners in the UK. We have listeners in Australia.
Ew.
Dope.
We have listeners in Canada
Love that.
and Germany.
Hey.
We have one listener in Germany.
So
Cool.
cool.
Wie geht's, meine Freunde?
That's
Yeah.
so cool.
But it's yeah.
Say
it's-
gets?
Wie geht's?
Oh,
It's
I
like
get
how
so.
are you?
I was
Like,
like
¿qué
the
pasa?
bag?
Gets.
Geht's.
Like the bag?
WIEGEHTS. Wie geht's?
Got it. Okay. Okay, cool. Well, congratulations, you guys. I'm so excited for you.
Thank you. I
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having me here. I'm so stoked. So stoked to see your
Super
progression
stoked.
and how you guys pan out in this podcast.
Awesome. And we'll just so you guys know, I will put Kalli's socials and links for both these videos.
Yep. You can even shout it out right now if you want to.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram. That's basically all you can find me on because I don't use any other social platform. Kalli, Kallis, with captures with a K.
If you don't mind too, if you could send Mike some of your favorite pictures. I know you don't have a portfolio, but this would be a good way to start. But send him some pictures
do have
because it would be
one,
cool
but-
for you to talk about like, oh, I did this or whatever. Like as you're talking, and just like have some of your pictures just kind of show up.
Yeah,
in the background.
totally.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, I can follow your Instagram too and just download from there. But why?
Deal them
Those
all.
photos are. When I screenshot those, they're not going to look good on video.
did you see the one that I screenshotted from the video? It was cherry.
Which
cherry, bro.
that
Bryce's,
one?
yeah.
Yeah, so good, so good. You know what's so funny? Actually, funny story about this with Bryce. You go back at one of the reels he made of that morning.
Yep.
He made like a video of me that video, and it's like the Delta. It's like an airline. It's like he's like, dun, 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 we're now arrived or whatever this destination. So he sent me that. I was sitting on an airplane when he sent me this. I literally click on it and I play it, and I was like, pulling my earphone out of my ear, like, what's happening? I'm like, why is I'm like on the airplane thinking it was the airplane audio, but it was actually, he put that audio on the video.
Good.
I was like,
That's
this
so
is a
funny.
trip. I was like, Bryce, I'm literally on an airplane right now. This is crazy. I'm like, the fact that you also use Delta, I'm like, I'm on a Delta airline. I'm like, this is weird. This is weird. Do I have an air tag on me?
Small world. That's all.
Gosh, air
Are you air tagging me?
All back, man. I need an air tag to track that conversation.
Get out.
So I'm gonna Venmo you $15 to just mail me that air tag,
Perfect.
and then I'm gonna watch it on
That's
my phone.
funny.
Be like, it's on the way.
It's gonna ding everywhere.
Could you
You
imagine?
just
Like,
screen record it. Be like, I'm watching it.
it'd
Go.
be so funny. Like when you go to the post office to send it, and you're like, do you want to do a tracking number? No, he'll know.
No,
He'll know.
it's tracked.
It's tracked.
This is tracking.
It is GPS.
I'm actually tracking you.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Is it in places I can't find?
Yeah, of course.
I
Start
can't believe it
shaking.
makes it sound. That's
Start
so funny.
shaking, just
I'm gonna, as soon as
Hey,
I need to test it. I'm gonna pick up my motorcycle and just shake it and see if it makes.
No, you have to
sounds.
have someone else take it. I think it like it's
It has
when
to
it's
be away
not,
from you, right?
It has to be away from you,
Oh.
and it has to be for a certain period of time.
It's calling out to me. I miss you. Yeah.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
where you live, so
Or
I
it's
can
like
steal your bike, and then I'll just
Yeah, perfect.
on my bike.
I'd be so
"Fucking
mad. I
ringing.
love that motorcycle.
Why is it ringing?
If you guys made it this far through all of our tangents, I appreciate you as always.
Oh, yeah,
Thank you
same.
for everything. Kalli, thank you so much for being on the show. You're
thank
amazing.
you.
So good.
You guys go spend some time. Look at her. Look at her Instagram. Leave a like. Leave a comment.
200 posts.
Book her.
Heyo.
If you get a chance to, if you're in
Just follow my
Hawaii,
stories. It's fun.
she always posts in advance before she goes somewhere, so you could book a session with her.
Definitely.
If you guys want some really good pictures, I highly recommend
Experience.
reaching out to Kalli. That's right, exactly. Experience.
photo
Kalli
experience, I
captures
might use
experience.
that. I want to take that.
Yeah, do it.
So awesome.
So good.
I appreciate it, guys. We will see you next week.
Catch you later.
Bye.
See ya.